Hey, we're back. It's
Yay!
been a long time.
Yes, well, 2020 was quite the year.
Yeah,
As you all know, a lot going on in the world.
quite the dumpster fire.
Yes. So here we are in 2021.
At a new location now. We are
That is correct.
we are about 15 miles away from our previous digs. Etiquette EdTech Consulting and Wine Cellars, now Etiquette EdTech Consulting and Wine Tasting. Now in Reedley, California, in our new house.
That is correct.
So yes, we are live from new digs. So.
And tonight we are talking about, we're preparing for Tech Rodeo.
That's right.
What is Tech Rodeo?
Tech Rodeo is the premier EdTech event in the Central Valley.
That's right. But this year it's virtual, which means anybody in the entire world could come.
That's right.
So you won't have to worry about any of the plane tickets or car, mileage costs or anything like that. Right. Hotels.
You don't even need to wear pants.
Yes, just don't show us that part. So that's coming up. So we're celebrating that, and so we are talking about professional learning. What's that going to look like in 2021? What do you want it to look like? So that's our topic for today is professional learning. And as always, we talk about what wine we are drinking, and there's always a reason for it. So tonight we have a Wildflower Red. Because, Tech Rodeo is all about the wild, wild west. Get it? Mm-hmm. And it's Valley Oak Winery because it is a local winery and in the Central Valley, which is where Tech Rodeo is based.
Yeah, Valley Oak Winery is a very small winery. It's a family-run operation. It's pretty much it's their barn in their backyard. And the old man there, he's awesome. He can just tuck your ear off for days, tell stories, and just a very we love going there, just sitting out there on the crush pad and having a bottle of wine and some snacks and kids running around. It's a great little place right there, just east of the Belmont Country Club on Belmont. So it's if you're in the Central Valley, if you're in the Fresno area, it's right there.
So let's talk about the first question here, Adam.
Yeah, well, we have a few minutes.
Well, the intro question though. Because there may be people watching right now that would like to answer that intro question. Okay.
Well, the intro question says this: where do you go to learn regarding your hobbies, interests, etc.? For me, it's no brainer. It's YouTube. That's where I'm constantly watching the old highlights and videos from soccer games and WWE wrestling. That's pretty much what I watch all day.
I like to read, but that's also because reading is one of my hobbies, so it just kind of makes sense, right? Mm-hmm. Reading and writing. But I asked my 17-year-old.
No, 18-year-old.
Oh, my gosh.
Man.
He just turned 18.
He's legal.
On the day that Adam turned 40. There's the birthday balloons in the back.
That's right.
And he said, well, TV and YouTube, like, duh. That's the only place you go to learn things. So I thought that was an interesting generational difference there. So I did include on the image here on Twitter the YouTube logo, but the TV and computer are very dated, the pictures that I included there. So pretty cool. It doesn't show us with this new version who's watching, does it, Adam? No, that's really a bummer because we like to say hi to people.
That's right.
So it's not that we...
Unless they comment.
Yeah. It's not that we don't... want to say hi. It seems like YouTube Live has changed a bit. I mean, Facebook Live.
There's Molly. Hey, Molly.
Hi.
Hey, Molly. Where's Pierre? Is Pierre being good? Is he growling at everybody?
only if he's on her lap.
That's right.
All right. So it looks like the first official question will be dropping in about 2 minutes. Very excited about that. This first question, though, the intro question, I should say, was about hobbies. So, Adam, you talked about soccer. What other hobbies do you have?
I mean, everything I do is I'm pretty much a jock. It's all has to do with sports, I guess. But
that's fine.
Sports entertainment. I've always been a big wrestling fan. I got my kids into that.
Yes.
So that's hilarious because they always want the T-shirts of their favorite wrestlers. And I remember I had this big giant stuffed Shrek that's like it's like the size of a small kid, and they used to practice tag team wrestling moves on it. Actually, with their famous flying butt drop was what was her signature move? Oh, they're their
Michelle talks about one of your other hobbies.
Yes.
Helping your neighbors.
Helping your neighbors. Yeah.
Love it. Absolutely.
I just realized there's another teacher from my district who lives in my neighborhood now. I was on my walk and I saw him. Hey, this is when you live here. She's like, I just moved here.
Oh,
yeah,
cool.
I just moved back. All right. So.
Well, that's nice.
That's interesting. Yeah, our district's taking over the Hawthorne Heights.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, and someone that works with me
That's right.
Lives in this neighborhood, Yvette Lopez.
That's right. It's down the street.
That's right.
Drinking. Michelle says drinking is her hobby.
Oh yeah. Well, wine is definitely our hobby.
Yeah. We
do
like wine.
Definitely.
And Michelle, it's a high school teacher, Katie Delgado, and then her husband just started working there this year. So her and her husband are high school.
She a new teacher?
She's been there. I think I want to say her third year.
Was she an Impact?
Yeah, I don't remember. Possibly.
She might have been in my class.
Yeah, her brother,
one of my classes.
Husband, Sias, is now a new first-year math teacher. So it's a family affair.
All right. So question 1 just dropped, and it says Tech Rodeo features. Oh, by the way, when is Tech Rodeo?
This Saturday.
That is correct.
That's right.
And and you can actually register to attend all the way up until 4 p.m. on Thursday. So, but one of the things that it features, Tech Rodeo features interactive breakout sessions. And so the question is, what makes a learning session valuable to you?
I guess for me, the one that what makes any session most valuable is when I can connect with the presenter. Like my best learning has been when I've found some kind of connection with the presenter. Like it's the presenters that I'll go to a conference just to see that presenter. And, I may have seen that session before, but, you just learn something from them. So, like, remember, it was about 2 years ago. It would have been 2 years ago, this last weekend, when we were at the college football playoff, the extra yard for teachers event.
That's right.
And we got to spend the day with Jaime Casa, who pretty much started the whole Chromebook for education thing for Google. So we got to pick his brain. And, I've heard him speak before, but they sit there and just pick his and listen to him face to face, like this far away from this guy. It was amazing. Like just the way I connected with him, and just got me thinking of things that I wouldn't have thought if it was someone else. So yeah, that's been the toughest part of the pandemic. We don't do face to face stuff anymore.
Yeah,
you lose that connection. Like as a presenter now, it's my best sessions are the ones where I get to feed off the crowd. You just can't
walk around, see what they're read their facial expressions, read their body language, and especially when you have and when I'm on a Zoom, sometimes I'm zoomed out and I do not want to be on camera. I want to turn my camera off. So I'm not judging, but I am saying that as a presenter, as a facilitator of learning, it is more difficult if you can't see people's faces. It's just the reality of the way it is,
So I guess one of the things I'm going to try to do with my sessions, I'm going to raffle off a book. I am an author now, so I think that's one way to make it interactive and maybe somehow connect with them. So that's.
By the way,
I can do.
Speaking of raffling off books, we will be at Tech Rodeo. Thanks to donation, we will be giving away 6 books, free copies of 6 books, and so. You will get to meet the authors of those 6 books, and you'll have a chance to be entered into a raffle to but get the book for free.
Nice.
All you have to do is show up. That's it.
That's right.
So very exciting. We've got some great authors that are going to be there.
Some very brand new authors, even newer than us.
Yes. Lisa Nowakowski and Jeremiah Roosh have written a book, Edu Protocols, the Math Edition, which is awesome because I always, and you may have the same experience, Adam, I always hear from math teachers that they're not quite sure how to integrate technology into their classroom because it's not as obvious how you would do so. And so it's really great that book is going to be out very soon. They already have the cover. It's getting close to publication. We're also going to have our book. And Eric Kurtz, Control-Alt-Achieve, is an excellent book that really shows ways to have kids engage in with Google tools to do creative projects.
Yep.
Who else do we have?
had Eric Kurtz on CV Tech Talk.
Yes.
Back in May, I believe, or beginning of June.
Did we have Kyle on CV Tech Talk?
We've had Kyle twice on CV Tech Talk.
Yeah. So that's right. We have.
Yep.
So he will be there with his book To the Edge.
Kyle Anderson.
Thank you. And then Brent Coley amazing principal out of Murrieta.
Mm-hmm.
And so he talks about leadership, but also culture within your classroom. Oh, and Kate Tolnai.
That's right.
Her book that she co-wrote with Lindsay Blass, all about gamification, which, let's be honest, is it easy to get kids motivated from a distance? Mm-hmm. No. So she's got some great ways to get kids motivated, still focusing on content. Like, you still have to teach stuff. They still have to learn stuff, but if they can do it in a way that feels like a game, they're going to be a lot more motivated.
Yeah, it was Lindsay and Kate. We were walking through the hall. It was a poster session they were doing
at ISTE
in San Antonio in 2017, and Kate just like grabs me by the arm and yanks me. Get over here! So you have to play. I'm like, play what? She's like, it's called Quizlet Live. You'll love it. I'm like, okay, I'll play this.
Because there's a minimum number of people, and they were trying to just.
She needed more people. I'm like, all right, I'm friends with you, so okay, well, I'll do you a solid. I'm like, and now I do Quizlet Live every week. Like, I'm addicted to Quizlet Live. I pay for the premium subscription for Quizlet because of that moment and how engaging I was. And I know my kids probably can't imagine learning vocabulary from me any other way than without Quizlet, because it's a total game changer. It's not complicated. Mm-mm. If you can put in terms and definitions, you can set up Quizlet, and Quizlet does the rest. It's great, and it's a great complement to like quizzes. Like it's a great study. You can use quizzes to actually assess, and it gives you a great spits out some good data for you. And then Quizlet is great for studying and test prep. It's amazing. So
can you talk a little bit about Quizlet Live, and then the one that you actually do like in person? Mm-hmm. And I actually, talk a little bit about what that is.
Yeah, Quizlet Live in person is one thing. I mean, it lends itself to.
No, but talk about that, because I know teachers that have now done that same format from a distance.
I haven't even attempted to try it.
So
Quizlet,
explain what it is,
and then I'll tell you what they Live did. Has a new feature that it added where you can go individual.
Right. I know.
That's kind of what I've had to rely on.
Oh, I thought the same thing. But I have these teachers from Woodlake. Mm-hmm. They got real creative, a couple of them, and they decided to do Quizlet Live. Quizlet Live puts kids into teams, groups of teams. And so the kids have to work together and talk to find out. Only one person in that team has the right answer, even though they have the same question. So they have to talk. One of these teachers used to do it silently and not tell the kids where their teammates were. So you had to have a lot of self-control to not put the wrong answer, right? And it tells you if you're wrong, so now you know for next time. So that same teacher is now doing that from a distance, and actually said it's working pretty well. I don't know that I'm brave enough to try that.
Yeah, I mean, again, it's all on that rapport you have with those kids. And,
correct.
And,
and this teacher has great rapport with the kids.
Yeah, and then just knowing what your kids are capable of doing, and if you think they can do it, go for it. I mean, one thing that I've thought about doing is because what it does, Quizlet Live will randomly put the kids in groups, and once they're in the groups, you have them in the group before it goes live. So you could definitely take a minute and drop them into some random birthday groups. There's the birthday boy right there behind. Everyone see him?
That's right.
Say hi to baby Dylan.
He's now an adult.
Yeah, he's
18.
He's legal. He can buy cigarettes.
That's right.
Anyway, so that's something that I'm toying with. I haven't done yet. I haven't been brave enough to try it yet, but I think I just might. It would bring a more authentic feel to Quizlet Live if I did do it that way.
Absolutely. So
question 2 dropped.
Question 2 dropped. Why don't you read it, and then we'll
talk about it. Will feature a Meet the Author session. What authors have inspired you? Well, there's a ton who've inspired me.
Not just education, though.
Yeah.
I was thinking that there's actually some authors that have written. I'm a big neuroscience geek, right? So I've learned some things from. Well, actually, Joe Bowler collaborated with some neuroscientists at Stanford, and so her book has a bit of that, which I like. Who's that Joe Bowler guy?
Who's he? That's an inside joke.
It's an inside joke. Joe Bowler is an amazing math education professor, researcher at Stanford. But Who else have you
I mean, you know, just
been inspired by?
in my line of work, you know, and some of the heavy hitters like Dave Burgess and Matt Miller, George Couros. Those books were all, you know, reading those books were all watershed moments for me, as an educator, because they were so reaffirming, you know, to like they affirmed all the crazy ideas that I had that people thought were nuts, but for them they affirmed it and gave me and then getting to know them, you know, online and then eventually in person really kind of just was a huge kickstart for me professionally. The book I read I had to read for my master's. 2 books I read that, I mean, these are not authors that I don't think I would ever meet, but I had to read the biography of Lee Iacocca, and you know how the innovation he spurred in the auto industry. But the one that just knocked my socks off is Outliers by Malcolm Gladwell.
Yes.
I mean, God, that was. I had to read that for my master's, you know, years ago, and that was that really took my thinking in totally different directions. So yeah, it's pretty. Those are definitely authors that have really lit the fire for my passion.
So we were talking a bit earlier about how it's more difficult to lead professional learning virtually than in person. And so question 3 is talking about how Tech Rodeo and other professional learning opportunities are now virtual by necessity, right? And so the question is, what virtual strategies have you found most beneficial, whether you are someone that is teaching, maybe teaching teachers, maybe teaching students, or whether you are someone who is learning, maybe in a professional learning setting. So what strategies have been effective for virtual learning? I would say one of the things is having opportunities to speak in small groups with breakout rooms. Certainly for adults, I think with students, it's a little bit more dependent on your context and the age group and such. But that's been really helpful when it's possible. How about you, Adam? What do you think?
You know what? I don't think anything really has stood out for me like too much. I just adapted a lot of stuff that I was doing in person anyways. But recently, I've been on fire for this. Is where I work, we're such a high percentage of English learners. Like, you know, it's nuts. So I don't know what I would do if I didn't teach English learners, because I don't. I'm not used to just English only kids ever. But the Google Meet ability to now live real time translation of captions is a game changer. And they dropped that feature over the winter break, and I've been spending the last week and a half kind of toying with it. And I've gotten good at it where I'm recording lessons and videos and how-to videos for kids I'm talking in English, but you see it right in front of you, spit out in Spanish in the subtitles. That right there for my population is a game changer. And my superintendent, I shared that with her, and she's on board with it and excited about it. So we're going to be working with that. Like I've spent those who know me know I do my we have a student Google certified student program that I created. And I've been redoing all the videos for that program.
Oh yeah, I bet. Google always updates.
Redoing every single one. I mean, there are a few changes to some of the performance tasks that I have them do, but now I'm doing it with the live translations in Spanish because every class has a couple kids that just cannot understand it in English at all. Yet. So it's definitely been my thing lately.
You know, the other thing that I've found very helpful in virtual learning sessions is giving people time to explore resources on their own, rather than just talking through everything. Because you know, if you give people more choice, so they explore some things on their own, maybe create something and then come back, that can be really helpful. A lot of times I will build in a break for that. So I'll say, okay, you've got about 15 minutes. You can look through some of these resources. And or take a break during, you know, the beginning, at the end, at the middle, whatever. And that seems to be well received, as well as collaborative files, right? Jamboard, Google Docs, whatever happens to be can be really helpful too.
Yeah, I'm big on the bandwagon of the Quizlet lessons.
Oh yeah,
That's been great. Because it's, you know,
oh
I love using quizzes. Just for not just for some form of assessment and stuff and gamification, but the fact that it's well, April Hall's got wine too.
look,
right.
I have to apologize to you guys.
Wow.
We didn't see this Facebook Live. We haven't done it in a while, and so it's a little different. And so I didn't realize we have to scroll down to see your comments. So
Yes, I apologize.
all right, April's got her wine.
April Hall, what kind of wine are you drinking? That's my question.
Michelle Cruz, interactive sessions are good. Totally. Classcraft, yes. Some teachers that are gamers that I know love Classcraft. Adam, Brian Costello asked, would you say Quizlet is top of the table?
Yes, there's Brian Costello dropping a Man United
yeah, I was like,
top of the table.
Must be
reference.
an inside joke,
Yes.
Okay. Let's see. Oh, Les says that Facebook is behind. It's lagging on his phone. Oh, you can't use Quizlet. Only Quiz Les. Bummer. All right.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Brian's great with VR. Brian
yeah.
Costello. That's great. Doing VR stuff for sure. Adam, can you talk about the certification? Well, Les was asking about
What quizzes?
no, I think was he? You were talking about your Google Certified Student Program, maybe? Not sure what he's referring to there.
Well, I wrote a blog about the certification for quizzes, but that's a new one. Not difficult at all. But if you're using quizzes on a regular basis, then you might as well go and have a certificate too. It takes you maybe half hour to go through it. It's one big giant quizzes. It's great. It's a self-paced lesson, and they're really making it a lot like Pear Deck. So I love Pear Deck, man. I've been down with Pear Deck for years, but I use quizzes so much. I didn't want to have to I don't want to be doing like app switching all the time. So since quizzes can do something similar to Pear Deck, then I'll keep my kids doing it in house, not having to switch out, and that's been because doing I don't want to overwhelm the kids with too many different apps. So if one app can do multiple things, then that's a good thing. So question 4 just dropped, and hold on, we have a Minja sighting. Minja, smell the wine. Tell me what does it smell like. What do you smell? Smell again. Get away with it. This is very fruit forward. It smells strawberry.
Yes.
Yeah, I think you're out of practice. We're gonna get you smell more wine. You're usually pretty good at the game. So, question 4 drop. It says, "What professional learning goals do you have for 2021?" For me, I'm gonna hold my beer. I'm gonna go get that Google Certified Coach certification. I've been for 2 years. I've been lagging on the Flipgrid one. I tout Flipgrid left and right, and that's one I haven't gotten yet. Just haven't gotten around to doing it. And hey, I just said Flipgrid, and they just tweeted me. That's awesome. Oh yes, it's because they read my tweet. They responded to it.
Nice.
All right. So yeah, those are my 2 goals as of now. Michelle next door says hi.
And myself.
Okay.
All right. So, oops.
What about you, babe?
I want to become mental health first aid certified.
Okay.
And there is one that is specific to educators, or that is geared. And they're supposed to be finding a date that'll work for all of us. I am also I'm going to get the Brene Brown Dare to Lead badge or something, because I'm in a Brene Brown thing. So that's kind of cool. And I want to write a couple chapters of my new book,
Right.
at least, and submit it to a publisher and see if I can. That'll kick me in the butt so that I'll actually get it done.
Yeah.
Because
I got
been lagging.
another book idea, not educational though. I'm gonna be, in this area, here in the valley where people bleed the red of Fresno State football. I'm starting to write down. I'm starting as a private blog right now. It's tentatively titled Through the Eyes of the Equipment Man's Son. So all my experiences growing up in the locker room at Fresno State and hanging out with many future professional athletes, and from my perspective and the impact them and the coaching staff, and heck, even the athletic trainers, they all had a huge impact on my life. And there's not you're not going to hear that's a story that's not really heard much. So it's I think it's going to be fun to write. It'll be very therapeutic as well. So let's see. Which one's in live? Yes, Michelle, it's ready to roll. Well, you know what? Because you're not secondary anymore. You're not on that mailing list. So I will.
You didn't get your email.
Yes, I will send you that blog in a YouTube video that shows you how awesome this is. So I'm gonna do that right now. I'm on my other laptop here. I'm gonna rock that as we speak. Thanks for reminding me. Yeah, I keep forgetting you joined the dark side of elementary.
Hey now. It's different. It's definitely different. Les predicts that I will have 5 books by 2025. Oh my goodness. Well, I got to get going on that second one first. We had to do a 6-word story, like a headline, in a staff meeting I was at. And so my headline was, it's supposed to be about yourself. So my headline was, newly published author, new author loses motivation to write. So I was just tired, but I'm getting back to it a bit. I think that's okay. I think that's normal.
Find my YouTube video.
It is true that taking a break sometimes, whether intentionally or not, when you come back to a project, it'll give you some different insights. That happened to me.
Wrong account. Too many accounts on this Chromebook. I didn't even remember which account. Mm-hmm.
The dog looks weird down there.
So, Ariel, when you were doing learning on Zoom, as we were talking about when you're learning on video calls, what do you like best? So what worked, do you think, on video calls? What's something that worked that was kind of not so bad? I mean, we know video calls are not as great as being in person, right? Yeah, but what was something that was, okay, that was actually kind of worked?
The like with like, I don't really know.
Don't know? It was a while ago. They're back in school a bit, like halftime kind of.
My mic sure didn't work.
Your what didn't work?
My mic.
Oh, your mic didn't work. Yeah, that's right. We had an issue with that.
All right, Cruz, I just sent that to you. Check your email.
Perfect. Absolutely. Well,
yep.
We already got through our questions.
Oh, we blew through that.
We did. We did.
It's like riding a bike. But next week, we will bring back a guest. Yes.
Who's the guest?
This guest, let me give you a hint. Do not, I repeat, do not mess with this man's dog. We will have live on CV TikTok the real John Wick. John Wick, the Catholic school principal from Southern California. Okay? And I'll tell you right now, he's back.
That's right. Les was talking about teachers in Southern California might be vaccinated next week. We received a survey. It's coming, but they need to know how many, I guess, or whatever. So we received a survey to ask if we were interested. But educators are supposedly soon. I don't know when. So Brian thinks he's the real John Wick.
I mean, we know the real John Wick, not the fake Keanu version.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yep. Ariel's met John Wick like twice.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Who's this Jan Goyette saying hello?
Oh, that's nice. You weren't there. Drini says today, I want Bill and Jan's. I want Bill and Jan's. She wanted to go see them. It's cute.
So, yeah, we're looking forward to have John on next week. We'll be talking about the challenges faced by an administrator in distance learning in a pandemic. You know, that's not a it's not a topic that we've ever covered. And, you know, hearing the admin perspective, admin men are we struggle as teachers. The admin man, I couldn't imagine what they're doing. That's just
Parents and the regulations are changing all the time, at least around here. The
Right.
school safety plan, the guidelines. Did you know this, Adam? They have to change them if they want to like to stay open or reapply or whatever. They have to change everything.
so. I think Costello thinks that we're talking about Carripo. We're not talking about Carripo. We are actually talking
No,
about
I
John
think-
Wake.
Oh, maybe.
I don't know.
Oh, taking over Q. Yeah. Different John.
Yeah, different John.
Yeah.
No H. Anyway,
No. Carribo has no H in his name.
I know.
Oh.
That's what I meant.
Okay. All right. Well, it is 7:30.
Yeah.
We are so grateful that you joined us today. We will be back next week with our special guest. And other than that, I think we're good to go.
Have a good rest of your week. Hey, I mean, 1 week back and you already get a 3-day weekend. Ain't that awesome? Oh, okay. Q Rockstar. So
Got it.
it's that John Wick.
Okay. Perfect.
All
Perfect.
Thank you for clarifying, Mr. Costello.